Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Dakota Fundraising News Podcast. Today is Wednesday, November 6th. We're recording this on Election Day, the 5th. So no doubt we will be seeing a ton of finance news and news in the markets coming up here soon. We'll cover some of it. We'll stay in our lane for sure as it comes to fundraising. You're joined, as always, by myself, Pat.
And Konch.
And without further ado, we'll just jump right into it today. We're going to start out with job changes, kicking off actually with a local job change and notable friend of the pod, Liz Eldridge at Glenmede. Liz has been on the Dakota Live show that if you're listening to this, you're no doubt familiar with. And special congratulations in order to Liz, who has been named the president of Glenmede Asset Management. She had been leading their manager research team previously. So very exciting new addition to her role. Next, the University of Florida Endowment, the University of Florida Investment Corporation, they have named Mark Baumgartner as their CIO. He was previously the CIO of the Dalio Family Office and CEO of Dalio Philanthropies, and he has now taken over the University of Florida Endowment.
Great. Ton of changes over at the Kellogg Foundation as well. This is according to a press release on Monday, November 4th. So they've announced that Dr. Felicia Dehaney Russell has joined as their new VP of Strategy. In addition, Miriam Calderon has been added as the VP of Impact, and then Sarah Takatani has been appointed as the VP for Technology and Integrated Services. And then lastly here, Rochelle Rinkins named the VP for Transformation and Organizational Effectiveness. So a ton of names here. It's awesome to see them continue to promote and add to their team.
Yeah, that's awesome. Speaking of adding to the team, speaking of adding, the Colony Group, part of Focus Financial, they've added a $6.1 billion partner in GYL Financial Synergies. That is going to be a merging of West Hartford GYL Financial Synergies with the Boston-based Colony Group, all going to be now under the Focus Financial umbrella. So I started that off explaining it a little weird, but if you think about it, you have Focus Financial, you have Colony Group, you have GYL Financial Synergies. Think of Focus as having a notable stake in both of those, and now pushing them into one and combining them to be this, sort of Northeastern powerhouse, really.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think they're expected to rebrand in the near future. So whenever we get word on what that looks like, we'll definitely provide an update here. That's going to be the 8th merger for Colony this year.
Wow.
Moving on here out to the Bay Area, RIA Summitry. They've been acquired by Aspen Standard Wealth. It's a $2.8 billion RIA based out in Foster City, California. It's a pretty significant acquisition there. Aspen Standard Wealth. I don't think we mentioned a ton on the pod. And then I'll close off this segment as far as the RIA acquisitions goes. EP Wealth Advisors, they have acquired 2 different RIAs, one based out of Maine and one in Texas, the Gather Financial Planning and Riley Private Client, respectively. So the Gather Financial Planning, based out in Falmouth, Maine, they're led by their co-founders Michael Goldman and Abby Morton. And then Riley Private Client, based out in Graham, Texas, they are led by their VP and advisor Doug Jones.
That's awesome. I'll keep us in New England as I start the searches segment, my favorite segment, as everyone knows. We have the Massachusetts Water Resource Authority Retirement System, always fun to say. They now have $730 million under management, and they have announced their pacing plans for 25 for private equity and for real estate. So in 2025, the staff and NEPC is recommending $24 million in commitments to private equity. That'll just maintain their target, which is 15%. And then still going to maintain their target with real estate, but just to call it out, that's a $10 million in commitments to real estate in 2025, and that'll keep them at their 10% target. New York State Common Retirement Fund actually is also listed out a search. This is a little bit of a different search. This is a search for a consultant, specifically a fixed income consultant. Currently, their consultant roster is RVK, Callan, Townsend, Hamilton Lane, and Alborn Group. So it'll be interesting to see if they renew services, if they go a different route, whatever it is. The due date is 12/20/2024 for these services. So right before the end of the year, that way they can make sure their fixed income portfolio is ready to go for 2025 and the years that follow.
Yeah, that's great. The pacing plans that you mentioned from Massachusetts Water, getting to that part of the year where a ton of these pension plans are announcing their investment plans for the next year or so here. So, Pat, I know we're going to start sending our email subscribers any pacing alerts, right?
Yeah, we are. We're pumped about that. It's something we used to do, and we are back to doing it. So in addition to receiving searches with live and open RFPs, you'll receive these pacing updates right to your email inbox if you're subscribed.
If you're not subscribed, you can do so on our website, dakota.com. You can also get some updates on these new investments that I'll be mentioning as well. A couple new investments from multiple plans that we'll touch on. We'll start off with New York State Teachers Retirement System, recording this on Tuesday after the New York Marathon. Congrats to all the runners out there.
Oh, yeah.
James Douglas, probably not listening in, but shout out to you, my friend. Yeah, $130 billion retirement system. They leverage Callan and Stepstone as their consultants. They've disclosed $350 million across two funds. So within private equity, $200 million is going to be going to the Linden Capital Partners Fund 6, and then $150 million to the OIC Structured Equity Fund. Across the pond out in Dublin, the Ireland Strategic Investment Fund. Don't get to talk about this fund a ton, but some recent news from them. They disclosed 35.5 million euros to the Timber Creek Ireland Fund 2. It's a real estate strategy. And then I'll just close this off here for this segment as far as new investments goes. Texas County and District Retirement System, about just under $50 billion in assets. They've disclosed $25 million going to the Silver Point Select Overflow Fund. That's in private credit.
Nice. Speaking of Ireland, as we jump into our fundraising updates here, this is a firm that has nothing to do with Ireland outside of their name, but the Shamrock Capital firm in LA, believe it or not, very, very far from Ireland. In fact, they have announced that they have collected $1.6 billion in commitments to their sixth flagship private equity and small cap strategies. That is a total in aggregate $1.6 billion to those two strategies. Very exciting. That was a parallel fundraise. They're working both at the same time. As I say in all of our episodes, fundraising, unbelievably hard. It's very impressive to be able to close on two at the same time. So congratulations to the folks over at Shamrock. Yeah, so $1.6 billion in aggregate, like I mentioned, and the split is 1.25-ish in their buyout series. That is Shamrock Capital Growth Fund 6, and then an additional around $320 million in commitments to Shamrock Capital Clover Fund 1. That is the other more small cap strategy. So a combined $1.6 billion in aggregate. PennantPark has closed their fourth credit opportunities fund at $610 million. That is the fourth iteration of that fund. Like I mentioned, they make first lien loans, second lien loans, mezz debt, and associated equity co-investments. They are based in Miami, and this is their largest private credit fund to date. So PennantPark, congratulations to you and the team. Couple of notable public investors in that fund were Illinois Municipal Retirement, the Wayne County Employees Retirement System, City of Pompano, that's a hometown win for them down near Miami, the Macomb County Employees Retirement System, and the Hollywood Police Officers Retirement System, another hometown win, Hollywood, Florida. Very exciting. Konch, take us away, and then we will see everyone next week.
Yeah, thanks, Pat. Just a quick note for any of our listeners listening in. We have started rolling out investment fund performance in Dakota Marketplace. So if you're a fund manager listening in, hearing about all these private funds, and you want to submit your private fund performance to us, you can do so at performance@dakota.com. As far as upcoming events goes, if you're listening to this on the day that we're publishing it, we're in Toronto at the CLIO venue, and then the team will be over in San Francisco at the Line on November 20th. Should be a pretty big event, so if you're interested in attending that one, you can reach out to your customer success manager or go to our website, dakotas.com/cocktails. And then we'll also be in Palm Beach on the 20th of November as well. It's a little bit more of a invite-only event, but reach out if that's of any interest as well. Other than that, we'll be back next week. Appreciate all the time and for listening in. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
This episode is brought to you by Dakota Marketplace. Are you tired of constantly jumping between multiple databases and channels to find the right investment opportunities? Introducing Dakota Marketplace, the comprehensive institutional and intermediary database built by fundraisers for fundraisers. With Dakota Marketplace, you'll have access to all channels and asset classes in one place, saving you time and streamlining your fundraising process. Say goodbye to the frustration of searching through multiple databases, websites, Form ADVs, and say hello to a seamless and efficient fundraising experience. Sign up now and see the difference Dakota Marketplace can make for you. Visit dakota.com/Dakota-Marketplace today.